How's everyone doing today? It's your boy JJ Domination. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so immediately. Do not forget to like and comment and share the video, showing your support and whatnot. I'm still a little bit under the weather. I'm trying, you know how it is if you live in a state where the pollen count is crazy, like myself. But we are here for day 5 of the NBA playoffs. I'm gonna be honest, I will watch the least amount of basketball. Yesterday I did, see like some of the Celtics Pacers game, and I saw some of the Utah Jazz Houston Rockets game. But I'm gonna be honest, I watched the least amount of basketball yesterday. But I had different stuff going on. I was watching the schedule release, I was playing Fortnite, I had different things going on. But we're going to start off with the Boston Celtics game. They were at home against the Indiana Pacers. The Celtics were able to win 99-91. Some low-scoring games, good defensive games, and I like it. Let's see here. So for the Boston Celtics, we'll get to them in a second, actually. They're up 2-0. And listen, their best of 7 series. I mean, the Celtics, I know it's been low-scoring games. I know the Pacers have been playing some good defense, but I'm going to take Kyrie at his word. Nobody wants to face these guys. For the Celtics, they shot 39% from 3, almost 48% from the field. Let's see here. Kyrie Irving had 37 points on 15 of 26 shooting, and Jason Tatum had 26 points on 11 of 20 shooting. And then off the bench, the main contributor was Gordon Hayward with 13 points on 4 of 7 shooting. And then we go over to the Indiana Pacers. Bojan Bogdanovic had 23 points on 9 of 21 shooting. Thaddeus Young had 15 points on 6 of 13 shooting. And then off the bench, Tyreke Evans had 13 points. But the main concern is Domantas Sabonis. So he's kind of like their 6th man. A lot of people would put him in the top 5 for 6th man of the year nominees. He had 1 point in 22 minutes of basketball. 0 of 1. Wasn't really shooting it. I guess the defense on him was really good, from what I saw as well. They would throw like Daniel Theis and Baines and Horford at him, so I guess the defense was pretty solid there. Boston being up 2-0, what does this mean for them? Well, they can go into Indiana. They could probably lose a game and finish it out in their home court. Boston looks like the better team. And for the Pacers, they're playing as hard as they can, but they don't have their star player. Got to keep that in mind. The Milwaukee Bucks, they beat the Detroit Pistons 120-99. Not really much of a game, to be honest, and this series is pretty much over. So let's see. No Blake Griffin, which means Don Maker is the starter. Luke Kennard led the team with 19 points. Last game, he had 21 points. I forgot to mention, so he's already a 20-point scorer in the playoffs practically. Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond each had 18 points. Wayne Ellington chipped in with 8 points, and Thon Maker had 6. So there's your starting lineup. Langston Galloway and Greg Robinson had 9 points each. But the main concern here is the shooting. I mean, the Bucks are a pretty solid shooting team overall. If you even want to have a chance to beat them, you have to shoot better than 37% from the floor. You just have to. But now we go on to the Milwaukee Bucks. They had 3 main scorers, actually 4 if you count Pat Connaughton off the bench. He had 18 points, 8 of 10 shooting, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. Here are the main 3 scorers, man. So Eric Bledsoe led all players with 27 points in this game, 11 of 19. Of course, Chris Middleton had 24 points, and Giannis had 26 points in about 30 minutes. And this team shot way better. They shot 52% from the floor and 42.3% from 3. So, I mean, the Pistons, it's like you're already outmatched, right? Personnel-wise, you don't have your all-star player on your roster. Blake Griffin being hurt. I mean, Andre Drummond, of course, used to be an all-star, but you don't have your 20-plus point scorer on your team anymore. and Blake Griffin, which could have made the series at least a little bit more competitive on paper. But I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. I mean, they're the way better shooting team anyway, Milwaukee. Detroit's just kind of outmatched. What does this mean for Milwaukee? I mean, I guess they get to go in Detroit and sweep them. I mean, there's nothing else I can really say about that series. And then we go to Houston versus Utah. This series is starting to get ugly. The Rockets won 118-98. The Rockets, man, they're not playing any games. They're not messing around. They look pretty good out there. James Harden had, I believe it said 32 points. Let me go check. Yeah, he had 32 points. He had a triple-double, 10 assists, 13 rebounds, 11 of 24 shooting. So, I mean, James Harden, you know, getting it done. Last game, he was, this is actually funny to say, he was held to 29 points. But the role players really stepped up. You know, in this game, yeah, 3 more points than the last game. Utah just doesn't have the offensive firepower. Their defensive game plan is solid. They don't have the offense. Eric Gordon had 16 points. PJ Tucker had 16 points. Chris Paul had 17 points. I mean, the starting lineup just did good. They shot 40% from 3, 47.5% from the field. And then the Jazz, they struggled to shoot, but yet only lost by 20, and I say only in a kind of comedic way there. Their leading scorers were Ricky Rubio at 17 points, and then off the bench, Royce O'Neal had 17 points. He was like the only guy that could shoot. Donovan Mitchell was 5 of 19 shooting. Rubio was 7 of 17. Why is Ricky Rubio even taking 17 shots? Let's just ask that question. And then from 3, Grayson Allen got the play. He scored 9 points, but he went 0 of 3 from the three-point line, so he got some valuable minutes. Kyle Korver only played 2 minutes. That's a head-scratcher. Why is he getting garbage time? He should be a vital player in the rotation. That just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. No wonder they're losing. They haven't unleashed a secret weapon. But they're only shooting 40% from the field, which isn't bad compared to 47. I mean, I guess 40 can get you by, but it's that 21% from 3. Only Oklahoma City's really shooting it as bad as they are from the three-point line. And if the Jazz want to have any chance, I mean, their offense has to pick it up as well. This is just the new age of the NBA. You know, you're going to give up 100 points to high-powered offenses. I mean, every offense in the league averaged 100 points. You know, every offense today can shoot at least 25 threes. Like, as a team, the Rockets shot 42, and the Utah Jazz shot 38. So every offense is going to shoot a crap ton of threes. What does this mean for Utah? I mean, at least they get to go back to their home court where the odds are increased. You know, the crowd's going to be a little bit more into it. But for the Houston Rockets, all they have to do is hit a couple of big shots and kind of shut that shit down. This was kind of a weird... You know, it wasn't a good matchup for Utah. Let me just say that. They would have much rather have liked to have faced Portland or Denver or Oklahoma City or even San Antonio. That would have been a fun matchup, you know, as well. It could have gone either way. But facing Houston with James Harden, who potentially is going to be the MVP, the role players are definitely stepping up. That's for sure. Chris Paul is starting to play a little bit better, you know. So, I mean, it's just a tough matchup. It's the toughest first-round matchup that Utah could have possibly have gotten in their range of where they finished the season. It's tough. They might... I still think... I think at this point, Houston's probably going to win in 5 games, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went 6. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so today's games in real time. Today's Thursday. I want to say some Game 3s are being played. Let me just go ahead and kind of look to make sure. Let me just do that real quick. Yeah, Game 3 today at 8 o'clock. We have these Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Brooklyn Nets. It's in Brooklyn. Series is tied 1-1. Brooklyn could absolutely take advantage of the home court advantage for the next 2 games. You'd imagine Philadelphia could at least win this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn won. The Nuggets, they got to go to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. San Antonio, you know, they've been a better road team historically, but at home, I mean, they're pretty hard to beat as well, so maybe the Spurs win that one. The Warriors, they got to go to LA to take on the Clippers. I know everyone's freaking out about the DeMarcus Cousins injury. I know people are freaking out about Kevin Durant having more turnovers than shot attempts. To me, I think they'll be able to adjust and get this all figured out. They have guys that played center throughout the season, like Kevon Looney, who's used to playing in that starting lineup. And Andrew Bogut has been a solid defender off the bench. So they'll figure it out. They'll figure out these rotations. And I'm pretty sure they'll win this game. But let me know what you guys feel, or how you guys feel about everything that's going on in the NBA down below. And peace out. Who do you think is going to win?